Welcome back to Football as We See It. This is Floydie the Seaside Geordie, and with me is Jebby the postman who does not fail to deliver. How's it going, Jebby?
Yeah, not bad for you, lad. Yourself?
Yeah, not bad. Sunday evening session this time, straight after the Manchester United Fulham game. But we could get it
Yeah.
in and get it out there for the week, this one, instead of only a few days.
Yeah, sounds good.
Right, okay. What have you been up to this weekend? Been up to much?
Yeah, been out and about, pub, having a couple of beers, something to eat, nice
Yeah.
walk, family round. So yeah.
Right, okay.
What about yourself?
Well, I was at work, then I went to sleep, and I got up and started work again, and now I'm just on my break, so
Yeah.
I could do this. But yeah, only a week left, and then I'll be seeing you, won't I, for our live pod. So I'll be with you
You
then.
will.
Okay, right, all right, and let's go into the first games, and we've got no choice but to start with Bournemouth, have we? The Bournemouth game this week against Nottingham Forest. So
Yeah.
I'll let you lead the way. Talk to me about it.
Yeah. I never saw it coming. Obviously, I thought Bournemouth might win, but for 5-0 against a Forest team that don't concede many goals, the goalkeeper's been on fire, the defence have been on fire.
Yeah.
Is a testament to what Bournemouth are actually doing at this moment in time, innit? Just playing with so much confidence, free-flowing football, winning that ball back high up, 2 or 3 passes, it's in the back of your net. They've got so many good players at the moment that are on top of their form. Clivert, Semenyo.
They've got so many injuries, though. Everyone's talking about Tottenham. They've got so many injuries, and they've just scored 9 goals in 2 games against 2 teams in the top 4. How's that?
No, it's just free flowing, innit? It's good to see. And the manager is doing unbelievable things. And he's even had a bit of a link in for a top. If Ange gets potted at Tottenham, could he be the next manager that comes in at Tottenham? You just don't know. He's doing that good, isn't he? So
Yeah, but again, obviously, we talk about Tottenham later, but I think Tottenham isn't about just the manager crisis. It's something deeper than that, because look where the managers that have all been sacked are just so successful, and they're so successful again now. So there's something negative there. But anyway, back onto Bournemouth. So I'd say it's about a lot of these players, because there is a lot of injuries, but because for winning, nobody's talking about the injuries, but they've got just as many injuries as everyone else. But the players aren't making the most of their opportunities. That's how I see it. Like, what's his Dogo Atoro?
Yeah,
striker. Yeah. I mean, I said to you in the last pod, watch out for him. He was on fire against Newcastle, and I was like, I don't know where he's come from. I found out we signed him for 20 million from the French team. And he just hasn't really. Yeah, but he hasn't really broke in, because obviously they've had Evan Nielsen. What's the other one called? Unal, yeah. So he's not had them chances. But I'll tell you what, after that Newcastle game, he put himself on that team sheet straight away. And then to get a hat-trick and just play brilliant football. And he nearly got an assist, but there's a disallowed goal of Clivert's, but he scored straight after anyway. But I tell you what, he's putting himself about. He's making people talk about him anyway, isn't he? I'd say that.
Yeah. I liked his second goal. I think it was, wasn't it? The cross come in, and he just how high he rose above the defender. He looked like he was an absolute giant.
It was Ronaldo-esque.
Oh, it was unbelievable.
Like Ronaldo used to get high like that, didn't he? Remember, for Juventus and a few for Man United, he just must have jumped exactly the right time and got towered above everyone, didn't he?
He did.
Great finish. So that's Bournemouth now haven't lost a Premiership game since the 30th of November. That's incredible.
Well, next.
Yes. Oh, that's the one. So that's a game to talk about, isn't it? Do you think?
Yeah, certainly.
I know, obviously, we all talk about Nottingham Forest, could we get Champions League, and they've just been pulverised by Bournemouth. But is it realistic to talk about Bournemouth getting European football? And I'm not saying Champions League, I'm saying European football. Is that a realistic option?
Of course it is, because they're right in form, and they're right in the mix, aren't they? I think are they on 40 points? Is it 4 points behind Forest now?
Yes. Newcastle are 41.
They're absolutely flying, and if they go and beat Liverpool next week, they're right in the mix.
Do you think that could happen? Do you think it could happen, Matt?
What to beat Liverpool?
Yeah.
Well,
is it at Anfield?
No, it's at Bournemouth, isn't it?
Oh, right. Okay, I didn't know.
I'd say it's a 60-40 to Liverpool because of the way they're playing, and they've got a very good record against Bournemouth. But it would not surprise me if Bournemouth upset Liverpool next week.
So how I'd see it is Liverpool have got 3 games in the next 8 days. They've got Champions League Wednesday, Bournemouth at the weekend, and then they've got the Everton game the week after. Am I right in saying that?
No, they've got the Tottenham game, haven't they, in the cup the week after?
Is it straight after then? Because on FPL it's classed as a double game week for Liverpool.
I know. I looked at that, but the double game week actually rolls on to the 12th of February.
Right. Okay. Oh, because it's international break, of course, isn't it?
Yeah. So
international
they play
coming up
this weekend, and then they play the cup game in midweek. And then they play the Everton game, even though it's still a double game week. You have to wait like a week and a half until it's over.
Right. Okay. I didn't even see that. I didn't look at the dates. I just presumed. Yeah. But yes, another win for Floydie on FPL anyway this week. Just got it over the line. Only just got it over the line. If Fulham would have kept a clean sheet, it would have been bum twitching, because if Robinson would have got a bonus point, I think I would have lost it. But yeah, I mean, I've scored, and that was. I don't know how they draw these lines sometimes, because it wasn't even. The picture wasn't even straight to get your lines off it. How did they work it?
I don't know, but I didn't see the incident, so I know it was disallowed, wasn't it?
It was literally. I don't even know how we call it. When you're looking at it, it's one of them. Is it? But when the angle's slightly off, you're not looking directly down the line. So I don't know how they work these lines out, and I don't know how they don't have option for every line.
No.
And every camera angle to show it straight down the line. But hey,
yeah, they don't normally get it wrong, do they? So
yeah, they do quite a lot.
Season.
Exactly. Definitely. But, well, on that note, we'll move straight on to this the Fulham Man United game. Probably one of the worst games I've seen this season from both teams. I'm not just going to say Man United, but Fulham. I say defensively, they did all right. Both teams, to be honest, like they didn't. There was no creativity from anyone really. Maguire played well, Martinez played well, Dalot played well. So it was kind of a stalemate. No one really created anything. I think the most reaction was from the 80th minute onwards, when obviously Martinez's goal went in, and then Muniz had a couple of chances which he just blasted high and wide.
Yeah. Well, I looked at the stats after the game, and the XG for both teams was 0.25.
I was going to say
it's one of the lowest XGs in Premier League this season. So
should have been minus 0.25. But yeah, literally. No, I watched it start to finish. It was terrible. It was just a bad game of football. But you can say that, or you could say it's just not an entertaining game of football. And unfortunately, it was a slight deflection off a Martinez shot, which Leno just couldn't get around.
Yeah.
But I just don't know where it is actually going wrong with Man United stuff. They just don't press high enough. That's one thing I did take from it. Every time that their keeper had the ball and their fullbacks, they just sat off Man United. And at one time, after about 75 minutes, they really did. They pushed them right into the corners and put them under pressure. And it looked like something could happen, but then they just stood back off again, and Fulham just carried on playing. I don't understand what the manager's telling him to do and what they do. I don't know.
What were you, Man United?
Yeah, just with Man United at the minute.
It's still early days for him, innit? He's trying to know his players' systems, and he hasn't got had a lot of training with Man United, has he? Because the games are coming thick and fast. Once he gets a bit of a week, maybe with all the players, I think you'll notice a little bit more patterns of play with Man United. But you can't knock the result. It's a good win.
Yeah, 3 points is 3 points at the end of the day in the Premier League, away from home.
Yeah, they've got a good record against Fulham, haven't they, over the years? So another 1-0 win against them, as they did in the reverse fixture at Old Trafford.
Yeah. Not on Fulham, no. It was just
a bad day at the office.
Compared to what you see of them normally, yeah, but because they have been performing, haven't they? Smith Rowe was iced out the game, didn't really have a great deal to do. Robinson couldn't do what he needed to do, what he normally does down that left-hand side. Dalot had him, and De Ligt in the first half had him under control. And then we brought Adama on, and Yoro played well to keep him under control. Ugarte had a rash challenge, which got him booked, where he came off for Collier, where he just wiped him out. He just wiped out Traore. We'll go on into in a second. The challenge was about 10 times worse than the Lewis Skelly one, and he just got a yellow card. He absolutely wiped Toure out. I think he hurt himself wiping him out. It was that hard of a challenge.
It was that bad.
Yeah. Oh, no, it wasn't bad, but it was clearly late.
Yeah.
He wasn't getting the ball. He'd just gone onto his other foot to come through the gap. Traore, and you know what his turn of pace is like. As soon as he moves, it's boom. So it was one of them. You take it for the team. He had no choice, but after yesterday's red card for Arsenal, you could have banned him for 6 months. You got it for a challenge like that. But so that's just Man United, I suppose, isn't it, at the minute?
Of course it is, yeah.
Do you think they'll sign anyone before next week? 1 week left.
United?
Yeah, do you think we'll...
I'm not too sure. They need obviously players, don't they? But they might wait till this summer now. Could do with getting an attacking player in, couldn't they? Because Rashford might go with this January, might he? Might not. So,
maybe.
Ganacho's been linked anyway, so...
Don't get that one.
They need some bodies in there, don't they? They need some bodies in there, don't they?
There's a rumour about a wing-back. Probably keep having the offer turned down. Danish wing-back. But we had a couple of offers turned down for him. But to be fair, at the minute, I'd say the wing-backs are the ones that are playing all right. Mazraoui and Dalot. So
yeah, they do know.
Like you just said, there's more important positions to strengthen at this minute.
Of course there is, yeah. They need goals, don't they? There was another defender tonight scoring off a deflection, wasn't it? So they need some goals in there, don't they?
Yeah. Right, okay, well, let's move on to City-Chelsea. A good win for Manchester City. 3-1. Foden, well and truly back in form.
Yeah.
It was a great strike. A couple of good chances in that game. Haaland finding the net again and getting the assist for Foden. Gavidal, what a game he had, by the way. Yeah, I think he could have scored a hat-trick in the first half, couldn't he?
Yeah, he's good at scoring goals, isn't he, for the defender. He's good for the FPL, if you got him in your team.
Yeah, which I did.
Yeah.
But
well done.
He never got any bonus points which I didn't get. You know, that defender scoring a goal and he didn't get any.
I know.
But
yeah, Chelsea could have gone 2-0 up, couldn't they?
Early.
For a change, Palmer didn't make the right ball. He just played it across to Jackson, and he was away from the goal, wasn't he?
I don't think it was the wrong ball. I thought it was a little heavy, to be honest.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Palmer, normally it's right on the money, isn't it? Or he could have even had a strike himself, but I just think he's got it wrong a little bit there, Cole Palmer. And that could have been 2-0. That could have been not game over, but 2-0 is a big scoreline, isn't it?
2-0 after 20 minutes. Like you could easily sit back on that, couldn't you, and soak up for a bit, play on the counter, just change it up.
But it was quite a bit of an end-to-end game, really. It was up for grabs at 1-1, and then Sanchez again, just a rush of blood. I don't understand what's he doing. Why is he coming out? There's no need to.
I thought the defender was going to make it. Was it Cucurella on the left? I feel like he thought Cucurella was going to get to it first and just play it back to him so he could pass it out. I think that's what it looked like. Because I was a goalkeeper at under 14s level for FC Rangers, so I kind of know where we go sometimes. But no, I felt like as the ball was coming down the line, he thought Cucurella was going to get it and just pass it in back. That's what I honestly thought. But as he was committing,
even if he did pass it back, he could have stayed on his line.
Yeah, but sometimes we just like the little pass. If it would have worked, if he would have got it, nobody would have said anything, would they? But it was disastrous. Haaland beat him for pace, turned the player and slotted it like I did against the Duck Club. That's what my goal was like. My second. But he's got full backing off his manager, and he said it at the end of the game, didn't he?
That's 5 now. Five. He's give goals away this season. That is a lot for a goalkeeper to give 5 goals away. That's incredible amount.
I don't just blame the
He's
keeper,
only
you
played
know.
23. Is it 22, 23 games and he's give 5 goals away?
Yeah, but
That's too much.
do you think it's anything to do with how high the line is for Chelsea? Have you seen how high it is?
Yeah, he's an average goalkeeper. He really is. It's not even just that, but we see him on corners the other week, just flapping at stuff. He's just not good enough for Chelsea.
James did that. Maybe James did that for Liverpool for 10 years.
Yeah, but
you get away with it sometimes.
Now times have changed. You need a top class goalkeeper to win this league.
But are they trying to win the league? Are they winning the league?
Well, of course, they're trying to win the league. Won't spend a lot.
I know. Yeah, but not this year. They're nowhere near. They're not going to win the league this year. That goalkeeper will do him this year.
But we mentioned him in the bracket. Well, they were championship contenders about 6 weeks ago when they were
start of December.
Down Liverpool.
Liverpool. Yeah, and then they fucked it, didn't they? They had a bad run of games.
I never thought they would be for the title contenders because they've got a young team and stuff. But they need to sort that goalkeeper out.
I think it's not
just sort it out.
The defence as well is like.
Oh, definitely. But the goalkeeper, once you get a top goalkeeper, then
you can start commanding the defence.
Good communication. You need a top class goalkeeper to win that league, in my opinion.
And still, again, and I've said this to you before as well, but I know you don't see him as being world class anymore. But Kepa is Chelsea's player. He had a blinding game.
Yeah.
I made some great saves. And again, he was the most expensive keeper in the world at one point. Fair enough. That means nothing if your results aren't on the table. He'd been on loan at Real Madrid. He's at Chelsea. Obviously, he's fallen down the pecking order a bit. And he's on loan at Bournemouth and he's having a great loan spell.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Chelsea didn't like him, did they?
But who didn't like him? Since then, they've got new owners, new manager. I think was it Lampard that brought in Mendy because it's Kepa, or who was it before him? Who was it before Lampard? Can't even remember. They had that many managers.
Tuchel, wasn't it?
Tuchel, yeah. Because it was. I think the fallout was it in the European Cup where he wouldn't come off. He was being subbed and he wouldn't come off, would he?
No.
And I think it kind of stemmed from there. I don't know if it was a bit of fallout or friction between everyone at Chelsea and Kepa, but I think he's a great keeper. And if you own that goalkeeper and you're choosing not to have him in your team, then and you haven't continued mistakes, then it's your own fault, isn't it?
But like I said, Maresca, after the game, he is going to back his goalkeeper. He's not going to say to the media, "Oh, I can't stand him," blah blah. He's going to back his players, isn't he? So.
Well, sometimes he'll say, "Yeah, he's made some big mistakes. He needs to seriously have a look at himself." He could say anything. Man United, hammer him. Said it was the worst team in the world, so he can say he's a bad keeper if he wants to. Anyways, let's go on to Mamouche. Great debut. Brilliant debut. And he looks a great player, by the way. Tracking back, moving down the lines, helping defensively, winning back tackles, playing it out, and then on the overlap straight away, making himself available, full of energy, which is what Manchester City haven't had over the last couple of months.
No. Yeah, he looked all right, didn't he, for a debut? Yeah. Really good. Second best Egyptian in the world.
Yeah, definitely. He's I'm looking forward to seeing him play. I'm looking forward to seeing him against Arsenal next week. I'll tell you that now. But I think that game's going to be electric. Yeah. I think that's going to be a great game. Now, with that bit of energy and that bit of a bit of a resurgence, and like say with Foden, Haaland, Mamouche, De Bruyne can still pick people. Yeah, the only thing I would say is the other defender. He grew into the game a little bit, but wow. He had a shocking start, didn't he? That little head he knocked back. And then got booked. Newcastle were after him, Newcastle were very close to signing him. And he chose Man City. Yeah. Deals were agreed. I think it was all on the table and he chose Man City.
Yeah, well, he can only get better. Let's say that anyway.
20 years old, but he did some good recoveries moving on into the game. I watched
the game went on. Didn't he?
Yeah, the analysis on him, it shows, and he's 20 years old. That kid.
Yeah, he looks older.
He's apparently 20 years old. He might have lost his birth.
It's going to be an interesting game next week, though. Arsenal City. It's going to be an interesting game.
What? So off these last two games, we'll talk Arsenal in a second. But off Arsenal this week with a 1-0 win. And City's win. What do you think? Where do you think it goes this next game?
It's always a bit cagey, these games, aren't they? at the Emirates sometimes between them. It's a hard one, really. It's a hard one to call because they're Arsenal are unbeaten, aren't they, at home? So they're putting their unbeaten record. City have
in the Premier League. You mean?
Yeah, in the Premier League, huffed and puffed, aren't they? City. I don't know. I think Arsenal might sneak it. I think it could be 2-1 Arsenal. I think they could sneak it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
I don't know.
A little bit more know-how at the moment.
Yeah, hands up. I'm not sure. I want City to win it, so it's a biased opinion. I want City to win it, and I think Arsenal, you have your good defence. City's defence is a bit ropey. Arsenal's attack isn't the best. Man City's attack is on fire at the minute, so I think it's going to be a very.
Yeah.
I think it'll be quite an even game, to be honest. But the result could go anywhere.
I think it'll all depend on the Liverpool game on the Saturday as well, because they played before. Saturday, Liverpool played Bournemouth. If that result goes Arsenal's way, then Arsenal will massively want to win City, won't they, on the Sunday? But then if Liverpool win, fancy Arsenal just to sneak it 2-1. So I'm going to say an Arsenal win next week, home advantage.
Right, okay, fair enough. I'll say 3-2 City. I think it's going to be a blockbuster game. I think it is. I just think because over the last couple of times, Arsenal have never got it over the line, have they? With Stones' equaliser earlier on in the season. Last year when we played for the draw, I think Arsenal know we can't drop points now. I think they can't sit on a 1-1. It's not like last year, is it? If it's 1-1 after 70 minutes or something, they can't be sitting on that, which I think then will open up vulnerabilities everywhere for everyone. I think it's a blockbuster game. I think it is. Well, it should be 0-0 now.
Well, let's hope so. Let's hope it'll be a good game.
Yeah, well, Arsenal Wolves then. What do you reckon? What happened there? It was a red card at each side.
Yeah.
We won the game. Wolves had the chances as well.
Quite an even game, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what I was going to kind of say. Obviously, Arsenal always dominate possession. They always do, but
they did it actually. Looks at the stat. Wolves had more of the ball.
Did they actually?
Yeah, but was that because obviously they were down to 10 men after 40 minutes, so he had a little bit more of the ball, Wolves. So that's probably count as that, doesn't it, a little bit?
Yeah.
Red card was never a red card in a million years.
No.
A yellow card at most, but I don't know. Usually Michael Oliver is our best referee as well. I don't know how he's got that wrong, to be fair.
I think
if Arsenal appeal, I think they get that. I think they win that appeal for me.
Yeah, it gets rescinded, definitely.
Yeah. It's not a red card. It's cynical, but it's not like late. It's not like it's high or it's
down the back of his leg, weren't it?
Yeah. I think a yellow card would have been sufficient, and that was it.
It just makes
so
you
I think Arteta's right with that one. I think he should get it rescinded, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't always agree with Arteta, but I think he's right on this.
No, he 100% is. I think everyone in world football agrees with the fact that wasn't a red card. I could make the argument now just to make us have an argument and say it was definitely, but it wasn't, was it? There's nothing. There's no argument there.
No.
I know I like to have a disagreement with you now and again, but there's nothing even to. I've got no grounds to argue it apart from it was over his ankle, as we say.
Yeah.
Straight red's just harsh. Like, but when you see the Ugarte challenge on Adama, and then you see that, imagine you just saw them two challenges, and for £1 million, which one was the red card? You'd choose the Ugarte one all day. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. You wouldn't even look twice at the other one. Which one is the red card?
That's why consistency of the referees needs to get better, doesn't it?
So it was 3 points for Arsenal. Not too much to talk around in that game. That was the main talking point. Havertz missed a couple of headers again, not finding the target, but we all know that's a frequent thing now, week in, week out for Arsenal. And Arteta doesn't seem to want to do much about it. It seems like he's content. To me personally, content, and Arsenal fans won't like this at all, but it does seem like he's happy not to win the league because the team isn't good enough, and he could strengthen, and he could really push on. But unless they're really fighting me in the background, and who knows, We could be trying to get a
He's a
striker.
stubborn guy, isn't he? He's a stubborn guy. I think he's looking for strikers, number 9s and stuff, but he's looking for the right player to fit Arsenal's system.
You telling me, Jebby, we can't get a striker that can score goals on loan until the end of the season? You don't have to fit the system, but we're talking about you need someone that can score goals. That's what we need. That's what we're lacking. We need a 9.
Yeah.
And you telling me we could find someone for 6 months to do him a job with the potential to sign him if it works. Don't have to fit the system. If he doesn't, we just say, see you later, go back to your club. I'm no sporting director, but there's got to be options there into this last week.
There is, but it's the hardest in football, isn't it, to get a striker in, isn't it? At this time, it's the toughest position, isn't it? Because everyone wants them, don't they? And, they're priceless, aren't they?
I just don't think they win the league if they don't bring anyone. And do you know what? When I talk about that, I'm saying the same about Newcastle. Newcastle are really pushing on, and what you need is a quick injection going into the back end of the season. Get someone to get that morale even further up, fighting for your places. Like that Marmoush, I think, will make a huge difference to City, just in morale and the way he's playing. And I think Newcastle need that. Like, it'll have been a full year if we don't sign anyone in the January. It'll been a full year since we signed a player, and that was Lloyd Kelly on a free transfer. I mean, come on. What is going on with some of these clubs? Man United, Man City allegedly could be getting relegated, and all this, just go and pop out 140 million on 3 players.
Crazy, isn't it? Crazy.
Wow, but yeah, we'll go into Newcastle game. Newcastle Southampton. It's the only one I called in my predictions, what I put on my Instagram. Called it bang on the money, 3-1. An early scare, lack of concentration.
Yeah, it was a good ball in, wasn't it?
Between
the 2 defenders, good header, wasn't it? To be fair.
What a ball by Murphy!
What a goal by Isaac! Is it the second one?
They're both good finishes.
Put it away. Yeah, because the equaliser, the penalty, in it.
Yeah.
Yes, to make it 2-1, it's such a good finish. I know the ball made it, but the touch away from the defender and then just the cool finish. It's not easy, that, It really isn't, but he makes it look easy because he's unbelievable striker at the moment. He's
world-class players. Like you say, he's like one of them where you like form.
Yeah, he's becoming a world-class striker now.
Form is temporary sometimes when we have a mix, but class is permanent, and he needs a class player. You don't take things like that, you don't learn, do you? Like your natural abilities to do things with the ball. No. And even Sandro Tonali's was a good goal.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, I don't know where Southampton were. They're at the halfway line. He's running through. Crazy play.
Yeah.
But it's a good ball, good play by Newcastle. It's a good finish.
It's just really tight, isn't it? And again, and I say about the Premier League, I don't think you can call between 2nd and 5th now. It's like, it'll change week on week, won't it? I know, obviously, we always say this. I'll agree more on your terms of the top 2 if Arsenal beat Man City next week. If Man City,
there'll be too many points behind them, won't they?
Yeah, I agree with that. If Man City peg Arsenal, and then Newcastle have got Fulham, not sure who Chelsea have got or who Forest have got. If City can peg them 3 points, then that's dragging that 2nd place. Like I said, first's gone. I think Liverpool's league personally are massively to lose now. But that the 2nd to 5th, I think no one knows what order that's going to be in. I'm telling you now, nobody. Nobody knows.
It could be on that game. If Arsenal beat City, I think Arsenal are assured for 2nd, in my opinion.
Well, still 14 games, but it's well in their favour. But yeah.
If City win, though, it brings everyone else into it. So, that's a decent thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Like, imagine that City could actually finish 2nd still.
Yeah, I still worry about them, City, sometimes.
We do, but do we not think, Ben, if Arsenal do drop another 3 points and, like, just how you're like, the top 2 is always going to be Liverpool and Arsenal, but they could be dragged right back into it. So we're not that convincingly good, are they, compared to everyone else?
No, but like I said, I think the last time Arsenal got beat was to Newcastle, and that was it October time? So
I know, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, but we just draw too many. We can't finish games. We just can't finish games, can we? We can't finish them.
Someone's still got to play well to beat them, though. Someone's got to play really well to beat them, because they don't lose many, do they?
No.
So,
right, well,
could be another draw.
Well, we'll see. We'll see on that. Let's talk about Ruud van Nistelrooy's Leicester City with a magnificent 2-1 win at Ange's Tottenham Hotspurs.
And it was fully deserved as well because they played really, really well, Leicester.
Jamie Vardy party.
Yeah, again scoring, didn't he?
Some boy. And I know you keep saying Ange is going to keep going, but is there?
I think.
I don't know.
I think
as a chairman, how do you give it?
Game.
What? But what?
Give him to the Liverpool game. If they go through 9-0, he'll keep his job. If they get beat by Liverpool, I think he's sacked the next day. That's my opinion.
Right, I get where you're coming from with that, but on another side, I think he's lost the dressing room. I think there's no trust. I think there was no trust now because he's still trying to play the same kind of football when he can't play it because you've got that many injuries. I think the players are beyond it now. That's 10 Premier League games for 10th today, wasn't it? We've not won a game in 10. I think we've lost 8 and drawn 2.
Yeah. It's alarming. It's alarming form.
I think he's lost the players personally, and I think the only way for them to beat Liverpool, the only way is to have a fresh head in there on that game. You know how when there's always a managerial change, and then your first game it's like a rejuvenation as such for a small amount of time.
I don't think they're going to do that though before that. I think it's just too early in it. But he's lucky. He's still lucky to keep his job. I think if he didn't have that game, I think he could be potted even tomorrow morning.
Could still happen, that tomorrow morning. Could happen.
Yeah, like I said, it's a big call, isn't it? But I think the chairman's let some of these managers down over the years, hasn't he? He's pumped money into the stadium and infrastructure. Yeah,
but we have to do that. Oh, that happened with Arsenal, Jeppy. So the infrastructure and everything is it has to happen. And Arsenal couldn't buy anyone for a long time. I remember when Arsene Wenger couldn't sign anyone, and we had mad players. And for a few years, everyone's like, they're not signing anyone. And the first signing after we've recuperated all the stadium money was like Ozil. I think they paid like 55 million. And then from there on, we started doing good because we owned the stadium. So I think it's just at the minute because Tottenham in the last within the last 5 years have moved into their stadium, so you've had so much debts to pay off and that. But we've still been putting money into the team. They've still been buying players, but I don't think they've been buying the amount that they want to buy, and I think that'll come in the next few years. But when you build,
I think some of the quality signings haven't been good enough, not to compete for like. Top 4, maybe winning a title. It's just, they're not good enough. Some of the signings. There's been a few of them. Obviously, Maddison's a good signing, and Kulusevski's been all right.
Yeah, Archie Gray, Jed Spence. These are young, good players.
Young, upcoming players, aren't they? Squad players for me.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, but we put a lot of money into them. They weren't cheap players, were they? They weren't 5 million quid, were they? They what was Archie Gray? How much was he? 35 million or something.
Yeah. On massive wages, even though. That's what I mean. Arsenal, Liverpool, City, even Newcastle now will pay these players massive wages. Daniel Levy's a tight get, and he won't pay big wages. Right, and he's got a lot to do with all this, in my opinion. 1 trophy in, what was it? Something they were saying, 21 years?
2000.
It's not good enough.
When was it? Something like 2007
2008. 2008. The only trophy, they've got.
Who won that? Who was the manager? Martin Jol?
I think it was Ramos, wasn't it? I think it was Ramos.
Or was it Ramos? Sergio Ramos. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Tottenham it's just a waiting game, isn't it? It's a ticking clock, and we're just waiting to see when that clock stops for him, for Ange.
Well, who do you get in? So if you're going to put Ryan Mason in charge to the end of the season, there's no point. So you may just keep Ange in. Who do you bring in? Like I said.
There's one manager straight away you bring in to Tottenham Hotspurs. Harry Redknapp. And he's available. And I think
he's an old man, though.
I think the fans would love to see him back for the rest of the season take over.
Well, I don't think we'll do that.
There's managers out there. But it just depends what kind of manager we want.
If you're going to pay Bournemouth and get him in, why not?
But why would he go to Tottenham? Why would he go to Tottenham?
I know, but he's still a huge football club, Tottenham Hotspur, compared to Bournemouth. I know Bournemouth are doing well, But this is Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, the training ground. I think.
Oh, that's it.
It'd be hard for him to say no. They put it that way.
So you're selling that.
Calling.
So you cut, yeah, but then there's arguments here because you're saying that they're putting too much money into the stadium and the training ground, but then that's the selling point to a new manager, isn't it? So
yeah,
but because of that, because that's making him appeal. That's appealing to other people, isn't it?
Yeah, and they've still got, he's a top coach in that Areola, isn't he?
Yeah,
I think with them players and then players coming back as well, I think Tottenham would fly up that table. I think you'd get a good tune out of them,
Yeah.
I'm starting to question Ange a bit now. I thought they were just blaming it all on the injuries, but now I'm questioning Ange's his game management at times.
Yeah.
Just not even just picking the team in play as well. Some of the stuff that they seem to play the same way, and in this league you get punished, don't you?
Quickly, you get punished quickly when you play like that.
You do.
Right. Okay. Well, we'll go into the latter teams. Let's see Everton. Everton had another great win.
Yeah.
Okay, away at Brighton.
Yeah,
not many people called that one, did they? But they pushed.
They've got
they
a good record there. They've got a good record, at Brighton. I think they've won the last 3 occasions there,
I know, but you wouldn't without it this season. It's different managers, different teams, different players. I know you're always into your records, but I don't. I'm telling you now, if Ange was there, he wouldn't have won that game. It's for it's for Moyes' effect. He's doing good. Moyes is bringing a better life out of them. Beto played well when he came on. Unfortunately, Calvert-Lewin's injured again, isn't he? But
hamstring, isn't it? It's going to be out for a while.
Story of his life, but another good win. Pulls them up a few points, which is needed.
I think that at 4 now, isn't it? The relegation fight. I think Wolves, Ipswich, and Leicester, and then Southampton have gone up.
I think
Tottenham. No, I know they're going in relegation. I think they'll be too much. That's too much, won't
they? Yeah, I agree. We've got too much to be down that.
There's a little bit of a gap as well. There's a bit of a gap now.
Yeah, there is. It's starting to form, isn't it? And we all fought.
Yeah.
Everybody fought. And I'll say I call Wolves are finding it difficult.
Yeah. I think they were better under Gary O'Neill. I really do.
Yeah, but we weren't going to win any more games, were we?
Well, they score a lot more goals under Gary O'Neill. Yes, all right, they concede a few, but at least the games were entertaining. And they did score a few under Gary O'Neill, to be fair.
I know, but we conceded a few more, Jimmy.
I think it's gotten worse since this guy's come in. I really do.
And if Kuna goes over the next week, then wow.
Yeah.
That's big problems.
Yeah. Massively.
So it's quite.
So I like Gary O'Neill. I thought he did all right, Gary O'Neill. I know they conceded a lot. I get that. But
do you think Gary O'Neill score? Do you think he'd be a good option at Tottenham?
No, not at the moment, no. I think they need someone a bit more established than that,
What about not the Southampton guy?
Russell Martin.
You don't think he's an option for them?
Well, if you think Ange's playing this kind of football and you want Russell Martin there that's going to play all that football from the back, fucking hell, if Tottenham fans are heart attack, wouldn't it? I think they need someone like the Bournemouth manager. I really do, because Tottenham would be unbelievable with that manager, in my opinion, because they've got the players to win that ball back high up. Yeah, I think he could be a coup if you could get him. You've got to pay big money to get him, obviously.
Yeah,
but he'd be all right.
Oh, we'll see, won't we? We'll see over the next 7 days, basically. Because do you think he'd leave mid-season though? Do you think Areola would leave, or do you think Tottenham would have to pay a fee?
Yeah, I think Tottenham would have to pay big money, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that something Levy would do?
Probably not, because he's a tight get, isn't he? So
well, there you go. There's that one then. So it looks like maybe an option for the end of the season.
Yeah, Ryan Mason. He'll sack Ange, and Ryan Mason will be temporary in charge to the end of the season.
Yeah. It's stupid. Quite a common theme at that club now, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is.
So, well, that's basically the Premier League nailed, isn't it? I know there was a couple of other games today. Aston Villa drew 1-1 with West Ham. West Ham came into that game quite well.
West Ham played well second half. Played really well second half.
It was a game of two halves, wasn't it? Villa's first half, West Ham second. Great goal for Emerson header. Great header.
Yeah, it was a good header. Yeah, first 20 minutes, I thought Villa would blow them away. Fucking hell, it was like a siege, wasn't it? But relentless, West Ham held on. Did all right.
And the other game was Brentford Crystal Palace. That was quite close. Right until about the 65th minute, weren't it?
Yeah, retaken penalty, wasn't it?
What about that?
Yeah, there's no controversy in my opinion. Gay was in the box, and you can't be in the box before he takes it. So it's the right call. It's definitely the right call.
Devastating.
Before Mbombo steps up and takes it, Gay, he's in there. He's in there before he takes it. So it's the right call by the VAR.
Yeah. All right, fair enough. Thought that's that one, isn't it?
Yeah.
That finished 2-1 in the end to Brentford.
Yeah, he's top manager, Thomas Frank. He's such... What he's done with that club is that.
What about Thomas Frank to Tottenham? Do you think that would be an option? Frank to Tottenham?
Yeah, could be. I think he's so good, such a good manager. He really is.
You've got Frank, you've got Areola, you've got
Marco Silva's decent manager.
Yeah,
I like him.
They're the kind of three that are really doing well this season, aren't they?
Yeah, and they're the three that be on the top list, I think, for Tottenham. I think, yeah.
So Champions League this week, my last game. So there's 16 games that kick off on Wednesday at 8 p.m.
I know. City, massive game. They just need to win that football match. Any other result, and they are out of the Champions League. Wow. This new format was for teams like City to qualify after 4 or 5 games.
You know what I like about this? Do you know what I like about this format? I'll tell you now, right? You know, everyone shut down the other year like a Super League. I think this shows that it works. Imagine having a Super League, like taking some teams out of the Prem and out of everyone, and them all playing each other twice a season. I think that would be brilliant to watch. I know everyone the Premier League's the Premier League, but times move on. Yeah. The world changes, times move. Imagine having a league like that. The only thing I'd say, which probably you wouldn't be able to do it, is imagine you couldn't have a season. Oh, but you wouldn't go into too many away games, would you? Every other week flying to Europe instead of flying around driving around the UK.
Yeah,
it'd be good
it's never going to happen. Anyway.
Good for a rich man. I'd be surprised if it. I think there's a reason we've done it like this, because who was trying to make that league? It was a breakaway, weren't they? They were trying to make that Super League. Yeah. And who shot it all down? UEFA and all that were like, no, you can't do it. And now UEFA have made a Super League in effect, haven't they? They've done it. So they've obviously seen it. No, it is.
In it, hasn't it?
But they've seen a gap.
Let the smaller teams compete.
They've seen a gap in the market with this other, whoever it was, trying to build this Super League. And they've really made a smaller one for the start of the Champions League. And I think it really, really works. So I wouldn't be surprised I wouldn't be surprised if this is a stepping stone for something that might happen in the future. Because I'm telling you now, I'd love to see that as a league. Obviously, you have your lower teams, but imagine as it's 32, imagine taking that down to a 24 and taking the absolute shite out of the barrel. And then having a 24-team European league, 38 games, or 42 games if it's 24 teams, or whatever.
Yeah, it'd be interesting, wouldn't it?
Well, you'd watch it though, wouldn't you? How good would it be to watch?
Oh, yeah.
Still have your Premier League and just be lower teams in it. And if you finished in the bottom 2 or bottom 4, you go into your league again. So I'd say if you're an English team that finished 24th, you go back into the English league and the champion of the English league goes into the Super League. Or if you're a Spanish.
Yeah, it's an
interesting.
It's interesting.
Yeah, but like
it's all up for everyone's opinion on it. So
it's not going to happen in the near future anyway, is it? But
no.
So do you think Aston Villa make it into the top 8 Wednesday night? Do you think they get the automatic? They've got Celtic.
They've got Celtic, can't they? Be a good game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it at Villa or was it at Celtic?
Villa Park. I'm sure it's at Villa Park. Yeah,
I think they might have too much for Celtic if it's at Villa Park. I think they might blow them away, to be fair.
Yeah.
Just big crowd on a Wednesday night, yeah.
A Wednesday night in Villa Park.
They're good at home. They're really good at home, Villa, really, aren't they?
Cold Wednesday night in Birmingham. You never know what's going to happen, do you?
No, I was impressed with the first half. Again, I thought they should have blown West Ham away today, but obviously West Ham played well second half and
They grew into the
got-
game.
Yeah. So
What? Anyway, what happened to Blackburn? What happened to Rovers?
they're on a bit of not investing this pretty much in the January. A lot of injuries. Haven't really got anyone that can put the ball in the back of the net. It's tough times at the moment. I think we've lost 5 of the last 6.
I know.
We're still thereabouts, aren't we? But it's probably where we're going to finish at the end of the season, where we're going to finish mid-table, which I said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as you finish.
I'm still hoping for playoff place, but I can't see it. I just think the squad's not deep enough. I don't think need some more players. Definitely need some more players.
Yeah. Right.
But we'll see.
Yeah. And on that note, Jebby, we'll leave it at that. It's been a good conversation, good catch up. I think we've gone over the whole Premier League again. So our next one we'll do it after the weekend because I'm coming over to you. Obviously, there's a Champions League on Wednesday night. I think we'll be too close to try and get one out before the weekend.
Yeah.
Well, I think the next episode is more than likely going to be live recorded with both of us together.
Yeah.
So it should be a good one.
No
yeah.
problem.
Cool. Right, we'll leave it at that and ciao for now, and I'll catch you next week. Have a good week, Jebs.
You will. And you, mate.
All right.
See you soon.
See you in a bit. Bye-bye.